Today we'll be going through the answers for phrasal verbs worksheet 4. Unlike before, instead of explaining each and every item, we'll focus on the questions and the forms of these phrasal verbs that you should use. For each of the parts, I've highlighted clue words that can help you decide on the forms that you should use. And for each part, we'll choose 2 to 3 questions to explain a little bit more in detail. Let's start. For exercise A, as you can see, there's no need to change the form for most of the answers. I'd like you to draw your attention to questions D and E. The phrasal verbs live up to and look up to are both based on the same concept. We often talk about standards, which divides things into levels. If someone has expectations for us, they are setting a standard for us to reach. Usually we expect growth, so we imagine we are at a lower level trying to reach up to that standard. Therefore, live up to means to fulfill expectations. On the other hand, if you imagine someone being your role model that you want to learn from them, then surely they are of a higher level so that you want to improve yourself and be like them. In this case, you would look up to that standard, look up to their level in order to learn things from them and reach their level. Therefore, look up to means to respect someone, to admire someone, usually wanting to learn from them. For exercise B, most of the answers are in the past tense because the highlighted clue words tell us that the sentences are in the past tense. Let's take a look at questions B and E. For question B, the phrasal verb mash up is used in a figurative way. Songs are something that we can't touch, so unlike potatoes, we can't just mash them up and eat them. But the phrasal verb mash up can simply mean to connect something. Therefore, mash up as a hyphenated noun is actually a very common term people use to describe medleys or a combination of different songs into a new track. For question E, you see the past tense verb found is highlighted in blue because it is a false clue. Well, in a way. The word found tells us this sentence is in the past tense. So when we are writing another verb, it should also be in the past tense. However, the answer for this question is placed after the modal verb couldn't. Since we always keep verbs at their base form after modal verbs, in these situations, we would change the tense of the modal verb. For example, can't has taken the past form couldn't, and the phrasal verb make out would be left in the base form. In exercise C, most of the answers are in the base forms because they follow the preposition to. In question B, we once again have a word highlighted in blue, but instead of a false clue, I think it's more like a distraction, because when you see the word every day, you would think to use the present simple tense. Yes, our answer is in the present simple tense, but it's not because of the word every day. Every day, when used as one word, it's an adjective. In this case, it's describing life. Everyday life means our daily life, our daily routines, our usual life. The real clue word in this sentence that helps you decide on the tense of your answer should be the verb is, highlighted in yellow. For question E, the answer could be put up or puts up. The reason is, as we always say, in grammar practices we often write in single sentences that can't provide you with a complete context to decide on the tenses or the exact meaning unless there are clear clue words. In question E, there is no clue telling you whether it happened in the past, in the present, or it's a simple fact that you can just describe with the present simple tense. Therefore, we would say both the past tense and the present simple tense are acceptable. The challenge in exercise D is you have to choose from a longer list of words to complete the questions. But once you've found the right words to use, it's easy to decide on the forms that you should use, because the clue words are very clear. For question B, the answer is live up to, because we're talking about dreaming big. We're talking about reaching a dream. What we want, what we dream of, is a goal that we want to reach and a standard that we want to achieve. Therefore, we would still use live up to to represent trying to reach that level of standard. For question C, we have a false clue word highlighted in blue because although the sentence begins with present simple tense, the mother is worried now because of something that happened before. So the real clue word is that the brother threw a fit and locked himself up. These two things happened in the past, causing the mother to worry now. So sometimes it's important to look through the whole sentence before deciding on the tense you use to avoid being misled by words that show up first, but aren't actually telling you what tenses to use. For question E, the answer looks like it's in the base form, but that's because we do not have the past tense form for put. The difference would be more obvious if the subject of the sentence is singular and the present tense would become puts on. It just so happens that the subject is plural, so there's no difference between the present simple tense and the past tense. But make sure you know that the answer is in the past tense for this question. That's all I wanted you to notice in this set of practice. If you have any more questions about this, feel free to email me or ask me in tomorrow's lesson.